What if I told you that one angel stands above all others, a warrior so powerful that even darkness trembles at his name? That figure is Archangel Michael, and the story of why he is the strongest angel will blow your mind. Close your eyes and picture the battlefield of eternity, where cosmic forces clash in a war that dwarfs any earthly conflict. In one corner stands Lucifer, the once brilliant angel turned rebel. In the other stands Michael, God's champion, locked in a duel that reshaped the cosmos forever. From the moment God said let there be light, Michael has been at the forefront, guardian, judge, warrior, and surpassing every other being in authority, power, and purpose. What makes Michael so formidable? It starts with destiny. Unlike other angels, he wasn't just created, he was appointed. The name Michael literally means who is like God. It's a challenge, an eternal reminder that no power can rival the Almighty. His name is a weapon, and he wields it. This was no accident. Michael was forged to confront pride, rebellion, and darkness itself. Ancient Jewish texts like Daniel 10 verse 13 describe him as one of the chief princes, fighting spiritual battles behind the scenes. Michael moved through the heavens, protecting God's people, canceling demonic decrees and opening doors that should have been locked. Other angels serve, Michael leads. He's the commander of the heavenly hosts. The one God trusts to execute judgment when justice must fall like thunder. Then there's the ultimate showdown, Revelation 12. A great war erupts in heaven. Michael and his angels clash with the dragon. What unfolds is not a skirmish, it's divine warfare. And the dragon? He's hurled down. Cast out. Defeated. Michael didn't just win, he overpowered evil. That moment defined his supremacy. He became a symbol of victory, hope, and unshakable authority. But what gives him such power? It's not just divine mandate, it's divine purpose. Michael's tasks cut deeper than battle. He seals evil, he guides souls, he stands as intercessor before God's throne. These aren't minor duties, they are cosmic pivots that hold creation together. Every time evil arose, Michael was there to challenge it. Every time a nation fell, Michael stood as its protector. Every time darkness threatened, Michael became the light personified. There are legends, not in the Bible, but in the war scroll from Qumran caves, in Jewish apocrypha, in Christian lore, describing Michael wrestling with Azazel, binding him in the wilderness. Or standing guard at the gates of Eden. Or being the angel who lifted Elijah to heaven in a whirlwind. Stories across centuries and cultures build a portrait. Michael is not just strong, he is relentless. Righteous, unstoppable, and let's talk imagery. He's the knight in blazing armor, sword flashing like lightning, banner of justice in hand, trampling a dragon beneath his feet. This is not just symbolism, it's a statement that darkness meets its match in him. But here's where it gets insane. There are hints that other archangels, Gabriel, Raphael, serve under him in specific missions, but none hold his rank. None carry his titles, protector, prince, angel of the bottomless pit. None are given license to stand before God like he does. Michael is a bridge between divine judgment and mercy, warrior and shepherd rolled into one. Let me break it down. If angels were generals, and gods were the battlefield, Michael would be the supreme commander. But don't box him into warfare, he's also the rescuer of souls. Jude 1 verse 9 says, Michael the archangel. When disputing with the devil he did not dare pronounce against him a railing judgment, but said, "The Lord rebuke you." That moment speaks volumes. Michael knows his strength comes not from sword alone, but from submission to God's authority. Every Michael encounter whispers, "You are not abandoned." Whether Israel in exile, the early church in persecution, or believers today facing spiritual assault, Michael shows up. He reminds us that evil can be overcome, that God's protection is real, and that those who stand for truth are not alone. Still think he's just a mythical figure. Modern reports of spiritual warfare, rescue from evil spirits, visions of majestic winged beings, people across time testify to his ongoing presence. And whether you call him myth, legend, or messenger, his impact is undeniable. Make no mistake, Michael's not just an angel. He's the archetype of divine strength, the embodiment of justice, the champion of souls, and the guardian of creation. He is, and always will be, the strongest angel, and if you think Michael's power was only relevant in ancient times, think again. His role in the spiritual realm continues, undiminished, undeterred, and more critical than ever. The spiritual battles that rage in our world today, the invisible wars of good versus evil, still bear his mark. Every time a soul is pulled from darkness into light, every time an exorcism succeeds, every time a person prays and feels a sudden wave of strength or protection, some believe it's Michael at work, unseen but undeniable. In Catholic tradition, he is more than a protector. He is the defender of the Church itself. The one called upon to guard humanity against the forces of hell. That's why his prayer is repeated every day by thousands: Saint Michael the Archangel, defend us in battle. It's not just ritual, it's a cry for the warrior of heaven to act now, to stand between the innocent and the infernal, between peace and devastation. And the stories of miraculous rescues? The visions of a winged figure blocking bullets, turning away disaster, shielding entire villages. They don't stop. Generation after generation, people report them. Soldiers in war zones. Pilgrims in danger. Children in crises. And in every account, the figure looks the same: tall, radiant, fierce, and silent, with a sword of fire in his hand. But what about the darker prophecies? The future battles? Because Michael isn't done. Not even close. The book of Revelation wasn't the end of his mission, it was just a glimpse. There are whispers in scripture that hint at his return in the final battle. The war to end all wars. When darkness gathers for one last assault, Michael will rise again, not as a lone warrior, but as the commander of the heavenly hosts. Imagine the sound of 1,000,000 angelic blades drawn at once. Imagine a sky ripped open with divine light. Imagine the King of Kings returning, and by his side, his most trusted warrior. Michael doesn't just protect the weak, he hunts the wicked. He tracks evil through realms visible and invisible, cutting it off before it festers. In ways we don't even perceive, he is constantly at work, battling for souls. And when you pray, when you ask for help, when you feel surrounded by darkness, that sudden peace, that shield that feels unbreakable, it might just be Michael answering the call. Because he's not just the strongest angel. He's the one who answers cries no one else hears. The one who fights battles you'll never see. The one who stands guard while you sleep. It's said that when the end of days arrives, when the last trumpet sounds and the earth shakes with judgment, it will be Michael's voice that calls the dead to rise. His command will split the silence of eternity. That's power. Not just brute strength, but authority that spans heaven, hell, and everything in between. An angel trusted to speak at the climax of human history. Because when it matters most, God sends his best. And perhaps the most terrifying and awe-inspiring thing about Michael is this: he never loses. Not in heaven. Not on earth. Not in hell. Every encounter ends the same way, with evil running, recoiling, or crushed beneath his feet. Satan may whisper, demons may lurk, but Michael stands unmoved. His sword is not ceremonial, it is soaked in battle. His armor is not polished, it is scorched with the fire of 1,000 victories. And even the devil knows his name, so if you ever feel small, ever feel overwhelmed, ever feel like darkness has the upper hand, remember this: someone stands for you. Someone fights for you. Someone has never stopped defending the light, even when the night seems endless. That someone is Archangel Michael. And he's not afraid of the dark, because the dark, it fears him.